Is it ever a good idea to have your clients agree to acquire or purchase liability insurance? And can they name you as an insured? And what would that be for? Who cares? Like, why would we even want that? We're going to talk all about that and more in today's video. Stick around. Hey out there, everybody. Welcome back to Wedding Industry Law. My name is Rob. I am an attorney, and in this week's video, we're talking about whether or not you can require your couple to purchase general liability insurance, name you as the insured, and whether or not that is something that is worthwhile. So the short answer to this is yes. Your client contract can obligate the client to do a lot of things. It's not just a matter of the client is obligated to give you money and that's their only requirement. That's the only thing they have to do. The client can be obligated to do many things: show up at a certain place and time, monitor guest behavior, be in charge of what the guests do or don't do. A couple can be required to get vaccinated, for example. So there are many things that your client contract can make the couple do aside from just give you money, and purchasing liability insurance is just one of them. So really quickly, liability insurance is the type of insurance that would come into play if somebody has been injured. So for example, if something falls on somebody's foot, breaks their leg, these type of injuries, slip and falls, this type of thing. So the insurance would cover those losses. That's liability insurance in a nutshell. So typically you're going to find in the wedding and event space, the vendors that have the most amount of risk for physical bodily injury are the ones that are more likely to require the couple to get liability insurance. And so most of the time you're going to see that with venue operators, because by and large, venue operators have the most amount of risk. They have the most amount of people walking around. They got to make sure that, they mop the floor and they put the little sign up with the little guy to warn people that, it's a wet floor. There are things that might fall and somebody get electrocuted. There's just more ways that people can get hurt at the actual venue versus getting hurt because you did a bunch of invitations, for example, or because you DJ'd, for example. So there are going to be some industries within the wedding and event space that are more likely to require this, and that is why. It's the risk of physical injury is greater with some than with others. So again, that's what liability insurance is designed to cover. It does not necessarily cover if the wedding has to be canceled, for example. And I'll have a video coming out next week, probably covering a lot of the same stuff, but give me a break, about requiring the client or the couple to get cancellation insurance. But liability insurance is different from cancellation or typical wedding insurance. So now, to piggyback on that, can you have the couple name you as an insured? So that way, what's going to happen is that you would be covered by this policy if the couple or an attendee is hurt at that wedding, even due to your own negligence. So when you're named as that insured, that's what that means, is that you are being the one that is protected by that policy. So my recommendation for you, if you're thinking about going down that route, if you thought about it, be like, Rob, I'm at risk. I really feel safer. I'd sleep at night if I had that in my contract. I would recommend that you call your liability insurance carrier and go through a bunch of hypotheticals with them. Hey, Miss Insurance Broker, what if somebody is hurt at the wedding and it's my fault? What if a vendor is hurt? And just run down all the different ways that somebody could be hurt, who's doing the hurting, and see if you're covered by that policy, and then make a decision based on that. So that way you're telling the couple, this is the kind of policy that I want. Here's how much it needs to be. Here's who needs to be named as the insured. And you're a little bit more educated, because these things can be insurance provider to insurance provider different, or jurisdiction to jurisdiction. So long story short, yes, you can require the client to do it, but you need to understand why you're doing it. And to understand why you're doing it, I think requires a conversation with the insurance carrier. I hope that you found this video educational, maybe entertaining, maybe not entertaining. I'll just take educational at this point. All three of you that are watching this. But anyway, if you are watching it, please be sure to like and subscribe or do nothing. And if you are listening to this podcast somewhere, I'm not quite sure ever how to review stuff on the podcast. Like, I don't know how that's even done, if anybody even does it. But anyway, I hope that you are enjoying this. I really do. All of you out there. New videos every week, all about wedding industry law, contracts, trademarks, litigation, you name it, we cover it here. If you are in the wedding and event space and you want to get a weekly dose of legal education, this is your spot. And with that, folks, we'll see you next time.